Hello students, welcome to EVS1 class, standard 5th academic year 2020-2021. In our last session we have started with the chapter number 3, the earth and its living world. Today we are going to continue the further part. Okay students, so let's start with the surface water. In our last session you all have learned about the lithosphere and the hydrosphere and the various landforms. Now let's learn about the surface water. There are many streams of water flowing over land. This water is not salty but fresh. ये कैसा होता है पानी? Salty नमकीन नहीं होता है but fresh होता है. These streams of water may be of hills, brooks, streams or rivers. Rills are the smallest and rivers are the biggest. Here hills जो और rills जो होते हैं ये कैसे smallest है और rivers कैसे है the biggest one. Rills, brooks, streams join each other to form river. जब ये सब join होते तो एक river form होती है. Rivers which join to make a bigger river are called its tributaries. In some places a river cascades down a sudden drop. This forms a waterfall. Now you come to know how waterfall forms. All rivers eventually flow into the ocean. You can see in this map also all the continents and the oceans. You can learn here in this map all these continents of earth, our country here is mentioned, and the oceans. All the blue part are all the ocean one, watery part, and all the just brown it is shown na, it's all the continents of our country. Now let's learn about the lakes. A water body formed by water collecting naturally in a low lying area of land is called a lake. आप हमेशा विलेजेस गांव में जाते हो तो आपने वहाँ पे देखा होगा, मतलब जब पानी अपने आप इकट्ठा हो जाता है एक लैंड एक जगह पर नेचुरली और बहुत कम एरिया में, मतलब ज़्यादा भी छोटा नहीं और ज़्यादा रिवर की तरह बड़ा भी नहीं, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड एज लेक. Now let's learn about the water in the form of ice. Water particles in the clouds freeze, and in cold regions they come down in the form of snow. वाटर क्या होते हैं, जो पार्टिकल्स होते हैं वो बादल बन जाते हैं ना आसमान में, फ्रीज हो जाते हैं. लेकिन जहाँ पे कोल्ड रीजन्स है वहाँ पे स्नोफॉल होते हैं. व्हेन लेयर्स ऑफ स्नो पाइल अप on the ground they form ice. When such layers of ice pile up in the low lying area they become enormous in size, मतलब बहुत छोटे हो जाते हैं. This huge mass slips down a slope at a very slow speed. This is called a glacier. मतलब जहाँ पे टेम्परेचर कम है वहाँ पे बड़े बड़े आइस पाइल्स आपको देखने मिलेंगे और जहाँ पे कम है वहाँ पे छोटे. There are also huge blocks of ice floating in the sea. You can see in this picture also. They are called as icebergs. Now groundwater. Beside these water bodies on the earth's surface there is a lot of water stored in the underground layers. Okay, now let's learn about the atmosphere. You can observe in this picture the earth's atmosphere. The envelope of air around the earth is called the atmosphere. As we go higher from the surface of the earth the air in the atmosphere becomes rare. The atmosphere consists of a mixture of gases, namely nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor and carbon dioxide. There are some other gases too in the air in very small quantities. कम मतलब मात्रा में होती है. The layers of the atmosphere are named as the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere and exosphere. The layer that extends from the earth's surface to a height of about 13 km is called the troposphere. The condition in which troposphere change continuously, they affect the living world to a great extent. मतलब troposphere में जो conditions होती है वो कैसी होती है, चेंज होती रहती है और इसका ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इफेक्ट किस पर पड़ता है, लिविंग वर्ल्ड पर। द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ गेट्स हीटेड ड्यू टू द हीट इट रिसीव्स फ्रॉम द सन, hence the air nearest the surface is the hottest. As we go higher in the troposphere it becomes cooler. Almost all the water vapor in the atmosphere is contained in the troposphere. That is why all weather related phenomena such as formation of clouds, rain, fog, winds and storms take place in the troposphere. The air on high mountain is rarer than the air near the earth's surface. Aeroplanes fly in the higher part of the troposphere. Therefore, the air is very rare. Therefore, arrangements have to be made to ensure that passengers get enough air for breathing. अगर आपने एरोप्लेन से ट्रैवल किया होगा और अगर हम जाते भी है हाई एल्टीट्यूड प्लेस पे, जैसे महाबलेश्वर होती है, शिमला है, तो यहाँ पे कैसा होता है, टेम्परेचर लो होता जाता है। जैसे जैसे हम ज़्यादा हाइट पे पहुँचेंगे वैसे वैसे क्या होगा, टेम्परेचर लो होता जाएगा और जैसे जैसे हम अर्थ सरफेस पे नीचे की तरफ रहेंगे वैसे वैसे टेम्परेचर बढ़ता है। ओके, नाउ लेट्स लर्न हाउ डज इट रेन. Now this is the picture of a water cycle. Water on the earth evaporates continuously due to the heat of the sun. Water that has percolated into the soil also evaporates ड्यू टू दी हीट एंड एंटर्स दी एटमॉस्फेयर. आप अगर वाटर साइकिल ध्यान से देखोगे तो क्या होता है, पहले क्लाउड्स फॉर्म होते हैं, रेन होती है, देन अगेन वही पानी इवोपरेट होकर वापस से सन क्या करता है, एब्जॉर्ब कर लेता है और वापस से क्लाउड्स फॉर्म होते हैं एंड इट अगेन रेन. सो दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज दी वाटर साइकिल. As it goes higher, it cools and condenses, forming very fine droplets of water. The droplets are so small and tiny that they float in the atmosphere, forming clouds. वो इतने छोटे ऐसे होते हैं कि वो क्या करते हैं, आसमान में ही तैरते. These small droplets join together and form bigger drops which are heavy. They cannot float. Such drops of water fall down on the earth in the form of रेन. इस तरह से बारिश होती है. दिस रेन वाटर फ्लोज इनटू rills, streams, rivers and finally into the sea. Ice is the snow covered regions also melts due to the heat of the sun to finally flow into rivers. These processes of evaporation, condensation and rainfall go on in a continuous cycle. This is known as the water cycle in the nature. Now students, you will draw this water cycle in your science CW book and use your brain power. This question you will solve in your science CW book. The two questions is given here, that is, in which layer of the atmosphere do we see the rainbow, and the next is, mountaineers carry oxygen in cylinders when they climb mountains that are more than 5,000 meter high. What could be the reason for that? It is mentioned in your textbook, page number 14. You have to solve these two answers and you will draw the water cycle. Now let's learn about the biosphere. Before starting with the biosphere, there is one homework for you all. Can you tell question? What you'll have to do? Make as long a list as you can of all the living things you see in the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. There are innumerable kinds of living things on the earth. Means हम उसे नंबर में काउंट नहीं कर सकते. Innumerable. अर्थ पे प्रेजेंट लिविंग थिंग्स. द वेरियस रीजन्स ऑफ द अर्थ डिफर इन मैनी वेज. सम रीजन्स आर ऑलवेज कवर्ड विथ आइस while others have a hot climate. There are mountains in some places and plains in others. Some places have a lot of rainfall while others are dry deserts. There are salty seas and oceans and also freshwater lakes. The ocean is shallow near the coast but away from the coastline. The ocean can be several kilometers deep. We see a great variety in the living things that inhabit these different regions. The polar bear is seen only in the snowbound polar regions. Zebras are found in Africa and kangaroos are found only in Australia. These animals are not found in any other regions. Elephants and lions are found in regions of hot climate. Plants in all these different regions also show a great variety. This variety is characteristic of those different regions. Many different kinds of plants, animals, and microorganisms are found everywhere on the earth, on land, in water, and in the air. Living things exist in the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. They also interact with these spheres. This living world constitutes the biosphere. So you can see the different species of plants, animals, all the living things present on the earth. Now, students, always remember all animals, plants, and microorganisms are dependent on one another. They are also dependent on the spheres of the earth. The biosphere is where they take birth, live, and die. Now, what we have learned here, let's summarize it. We have learned that the earth's crust and a small hard portion of the layer under it is called the lithosphere. About 1/3 of the earth's surface is occupied by land, while about 2/3 is covered with water. Surface water, ice on the land, groundwater, and the water vapor present in the air together form the hydrosphere. The envelope of air around the earth is called the atmosphere. The water cycle on earth goes on continuously. The ozone gas in the stratosphere absorbs the harmful ultraviolet rays coming from the sun and protects the living things from them. Living things occupy parts of the lithosphere, hydrosphere, as well as the atmosphere. Living things and all the parts they occupy are together called the biosphere. Thank you students for watching this video. I hope you all have enjoyed it and you all have understood all about the earth and its living world. We will meet again soon for another online session. By the time, complete your all the homework. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day.